Across LEGO Ninjago's 13-year runtime, LEGO has released over 738 distinct mainstream and publicly released minifigures. It's mathematically improbable for each set to feature brand new figures without any duplicates, meaning you're gonna start getting more of the same figures over and over again. And if you want to buy the full set wave, I guess have fun with those 6 ZXJs. Join me as I count down the top 10 most common LEGO Ninjago minifigures. The rules to this list are relatively simple. We're listing them down on how many times they were purchasable in separate sets over the course of their runtime. There will be no technical, but what if you brought 100 Oni figure packs in order to grow up a realistic horde? Here, thank you very much. Also, for the sake of my sanity, minor piece duplicates, as in those figures that Brickset lists separately, despite only missing or gaining an armor piece, will be combined into one figure. I'm also slapping on any figure I can reasonably list under the highest numbered position. But a lot of minifigures tend to hang around a similar size pool. I will have to look into secondary factors in order to determine placement where appropriate. Number 10! Speaking of that, here's one listing I will not be doing that with. These 5 minifigures are all sharing the number 10 spot, each coming in at 7 appearances each across Ninjago set releases. We have a rather large handful here, don't we? JZX came in the most amount of sets for any ZX suited ninja, and actually this is the highest ranking ninja suit pre-2019. The Legacy Ninjaroid selection here is a bit of an honourable mention within an honourable mention. Technically it should be lower, but I stacked on the bold ones too, as you only need to remove the headpieces to have an identical figure. Core J, well, let's just say we'll be seeing a lot more of them as we go onwards. The Dragon's Rising Kai snuck his way up thanks to the new Dragonstone Shrine, meaning that the Pyro Destroyer from the original wave of 2019 Fire Chapter sets kind of feels a little out of place. I also shoved together the differently listed Pyro Destroyer stuff with the same head mold, as they're all basically identical, which is good, really good in fact. It's so good that if I were to give a ranking to this section of the list, a top 5 within a top 10 if you will, this one would be at number 1 because it's a figure you might actually want multiple of. Number 9! Legacy and Core give us a lot of sets, with a lot of duplicate minifigures. The first wave was especially bad for this, as the same Venomari figures came in practically half the sets. Cole and J are pretty self-explanatory, they come in a bunch of sets across Legacy's runtime as a sub-theme and shouldn't surprise anyone. Core Nia might be a little more surprising though. Core really did try to be Legacy 2.0 in a way, including copying how many each of the ninja that got crammed into each set. Funny thing here, I considered bumping the number 10 spot down to honourable mentions and splitting 9 and 10 among the Ninja and Lasher, but after deliberating on it and getting some second opinions, honestly I don't think Legacy Lasher has enough merit to be placed above or, well, below the others here. As while he's not only a remake of 2012 Lasher but also 2016 Lasher, the other 3 are all ninja, and in comparison between them and any other character in the theme, we know who wins out. Number 8! Now this is a shocker. A main villain being this easily accessible in so many varying sets out of a wave? I must be dreaming. I must be LEGO Dreams-ing. In other news though, we've now escaped the multiple choice options and arrived in the land of individual figures, technically. Lord Raz is a weird case, as he's a brand new figure for the 2023 sets that spread into the current 2024 stuff that isn't even all fully out yet. Therefore, I've given him priority. It's possible that this isn't the last we've seen of Lord Raz, as Dragon's Rising doesn't seem like it'll be slowing down anytime soon. Of course, I could be wrong, but even if I am, I feel like a figure that appears this often in what are essentially 2 full-size waves spread across 3 for the first time he's ever been produced, I think deserves to top the pack. Perhaps Raz is actually just one out of a litany of octuplet siblings. Number 7! Sensei Wu's Legacy minifigure is a bit of an odd one, for some reason that I still cannot quite fathom. When it came time to make this one, the LEGO designers decided that instead of remaking the original gi Sensei Wu wore throughout the pilot and aesthetically remained very close to going onwards, they would remake and include the alternate suit that only ever appeared in a mini-movie and then later a bunch of flashbacks. And then, even weirder still, instead of making 2 figures to spread the burden out and, not oversaturate the market with nostalgia bait woos without any basis in the TV shows at the time, they oversaturated the market with nostalgia bait woos without any basis in the TV show's variant at the time. 9 times over, in fact. Look, at least with the Core and Legacy Ninja, the duplicates might be useful for a generic army of ninja people, but, and no offense to Sensei Wu here, what did LEGO expect kids to actually do with 9 copies of the exact same geriatric pensioner hobbling around on a walking stick? Number 6! Core strikes back again, for the very first time. We saw Core J and Nia earlier, but Core Lloyd rolls up onto the list, and he carves out his very own spot with a rather unsettling 10 distinct set releases. And yes, unsettling is the right word. Just think about this for a moment. There you are in 2022, buying the new LEGO Ninjago core sets for whatever reason, and you specifically are looking to purchase that amazing new dragon. Not that one, or that, no, or that, or any of them. Get them off. Go, shoot! Or looking to get that amazing new MacLeod dragon. But you've already got your eyes on that nifty Ninja Dojo temple, so you think to yourself, well, it's okay, I can't complain too much about that. It's annoying, but not a deal breaker. Maybe you could resell one of them later on. Then a friend of yours, straight out of the blue, gives you the new Core 4 Plus set as a surprise birthday gift. After resisting the urge to either throttle him, or give him a consoling pat on the shoulder for getting scammed so blatantly, you instead decide to express your genuine and heartfelt thanks. You move on with your life, get a few things through the mail, and oh, your parents have sent you a few LEGO magazines with gifts attached as a birthday present. And as it turns out, 2 of them feature MacLeod. Wow. Then just to cap off the experience, it also turns out that the order you were waiting on with the Dojo and Dragon actually came with a limited time Ninjago polybag with another MacLeod in it. At this point, you're a little confused as to how 0 to 100 that went so quickly, but it's okay. 2022 is over now, Core is gone, and the world can move on. Right? Oh, it's like that. No, that was not an entirely too specific example, so much that it could only have been a personal anecdote. What are you talking about? Number 5. I would love to say this is where the core stuff stops, but that would be a lie. Right here, we've got our dear pal, Core Kai. Get used to him. Kai, that is. This isn't the last time you'll be seeing him on this list. Basically, everything from MacLeod applies here, except they decided to outdo themselves by 1, giving us 11 instead of throwing 10 in and calling it done. This one kind of depresses me because we almost got away without being swamped in them this time. 2022 had, well, I guess it had too many, but then it was 2023 and it seemed like we were free. Right up until we weren't, and they decided they needed another 5. Exactly how many LEGO collectors went under while getting these just trying to survive? A side note here, magazines are still coming out with core figures in, so this may fluctuate in the future. Number 4. The new Dragons Rising sets starting from 2024 have given us a pretty hefty amount of these wolf mask warriors. A whole 11 of them to be exact. What nets them the spot above the last few? Well, the year isn't over yet. These things are brand new for 2024, and we've gotten or will be getting these 11 wolf mask warriors out of the 2 winter releases in January and eventually March. Chances that these wolf mask warriors and also wolf claw warriors appear not just in magazines but in a full summer set wave release is not low. Therefore, this number could range massively from stopping right here at a sizable 11 to boosting it up by 1, 3, maybe even another 5. And that's all completely ignoring how this is one of the figures present in the first official battle pack, which doesn't count overall for this list, but it is important to note. These guys have gotten around a lot and very quickly, and it doesn't seem like they'll be slowing down just yet. Number 3. Yeah, number 3 has a bit of a controversial pick. I can already tell. I've done a bit of a naughty thing here and grouped all of the Vengestone army minions together as one minifigure listing, which brings the whole group up to a rather spooky 14 minifigures. The reason for this is multifold. First, the Vengestone Brute and Guard are the exact same figure. The Warrior, however, does have some minor printing differences. And sure, that would mean that they'd be handled separately, except for one thing. Context matters, and the Overlord's Vengestone army is kind of the most intentional copy-paste army in all of Ninjago. The Crystal Warrior thing spread about like a plague, converting all infected into Vengestone drone zombies who would then spread out and infect more and more people. There was no internal structure, no ranking system, at least not amidst the infected rank and file. Doesn't matter if the sets filed them as brutes, guards, and warriors, because they'd all be doing the exact same mindless shambling any which way. The second reason they're here is that, like the Pyro Destroyers before them, this number is a good thing. You want an army of these ones. They're meant to be a feasibly undefeatable, ever-expanding horde that makes the Oni look like Nadaka's motley crew in comparison. Either way, I think they deserve to be here, and this is now a dictatorship. Number 2. I actually didn't know that they were called this until researching this video and had been thinking of them as spider snakes in my head for the last 2 years. Either way, they're the same as the Cobra mechanics and thus altogether appear in at least 11 LEGO sets. They're also in some books and magazines which have bumped this up to 15, and at that point there's just no arguing. You can get a lot of these snakes, which makes it kind of awkward that they don't even resemble anything ever shown in the TV series, doesn't it? At least the skeleton guy's got a cameo, but these things just kind of exist. They exist a lot in everyone's collections. Ninjago Core. Core of Ninjago. Right. Number 1! And finally, our number 1 spot, which needs no introduction. It's exactly who you thought it'd be. The one, the only, and by that I mean the one only figure you could amass an utterly insane total of 18 individual copies of without purchasing any set more than once or buying secondhand. Yeah, you know him, you hate him. It's Legacy Kai. But wait, there's more! Technically, by the metrics of this list and the wibbly wobbly cramming I did in order to fit all the figures down into neat numbered spaces, there could actually be 20 Legacy Kai minifigures. See these dudes right here? They've got the Legacy Kai hood with the SOG Kai body. Really weird, actually. It's either or if you want to include them here in order to bump this number up to a nice round and even 20, but either way, it's safe to say that Legacy Kai is one Ninjago minifigure that any fan of the series from 2019 through to 2022 will not be lacking. 20, guys. 20! And that's that. This list was compiled through Brickset on the 10th of February 2024. As of the time of this recording, the website has not been updated with the new Dragons Rising sets for March, meaning that this list could change rapidly and very quickly. But I think this at least serves for a decent overview as to how many duplicates you'd be looking at if you were to buy as many LEGO Ninjago sets as you could. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Leave a comment letting me know how many of each of these figures you have, and if you have any more individually in numbers higher than this.